Welcome back to Beers With. We have been joined by Kyla Ostler. Kyla is the resident beer expert here at the Kitchen Denver. Kyla, how you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very well. We have an amazing spread of food in front of us and some great beers. We're going to do some pairing, but why don't you first tell us a little bit about what the Kitchen Denver is all about?
Okay. So the Kitchen is a group of restaurants we started in Boulder. Our restaurant in Boulder is 10 years old this year. So the Kitchen Denver has been open for 2 years now. And the philosophy behind the Kitchen is community through food. So that involves obviously using local ranchers, purveyors, farmers, and down on into the local breweries and distillers as well, obviously, which we have a ton to choose from here in Denver. So just building community through the restaurant and providing great products and spirits and beers.
Well, and we have got some great food in front of us. So do you guys try to source locally as much as possible?
Yes. Local and organic whenever possible. Pork sandwich from John Long Farm. John's up near Greeley, so just northern Colorado. And I have a little pork in the bolognese as well. And then Ingrid's mussels from Maine, which are just insane. But we have a really great relationship with her, and we get all of our seafood from her, and it's incredible.
Well, speaking of pork sandwiches, let's start off with that first pairing. And why don't you tell us about the pork sandwich?
Sure. So John Long pork, braised and then picked. And the best part about the sandwich is the salsa verde. It's capers, mint, parsley, a little bit of anchovy, which sounds a little weird and it kind of freaks some people out, but it just adds just a little bit of yeah, exactly. Yeah. Capers, red wine vinegar, Dijon, olive oil, and then it's mixed with our house-made aioli. So that is just the best. It's one of my most favorite things, and loved it forever and ever. I thought that would be great with the Pliny IPA.
Well, Julia and I have both discussed that we are quite happy with our Pliny. So, Julia, why is this going to be a good pairing?
Well, I want to dive in before. I think, I like...
See, here I'm trying to get her to talk.
Yeah, but what I like to say is pairing's personal, perception's personal. 3 different people, 2 different beers. We're going to have 3 different experiences with those 2 different beers. But so before I do any pairing, I love to, if I'm going to do a dinner or a tasting or a seminar, I try to get a test tasting in. And so I'd rather test taste and then comment.
All right. Well, while she was talking, Kyle and I dove in. So that is a really, really well done. Very, yes. You get that. Really, the pork is just really well done.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
it's just soaks into your mouth. The flavors.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're super lucky to have his pork. He's an amazing guy.
It's great. I mean, you've got those brown malt flavors in the bread, harmonies in the pork with the meat, and then you've got, to me, that mint ties into the herbal resiny components of the Pliny like nobody's business. I mean, that's the name of the game, is if you can get a couple of flavor bridges and a couple of those things, not just one flavor hook from beer to food, but 3 or 4, and to match the intensities, then you're halfway home, and it's very nice working very nice with the Pliny.
Yeah. Yes. I love the caramely component of Pliny and just like higher alcohol, but it doesn't come across as hot or burning in any way. It just has that caramely kind of component that I think just obviously works really well with grilled and braised meat.
Yeah, and I was going to also offer that the dryness of the beer really helps some of the components of the pork sandwich really, as Julia said, pop. Really helps bring some of that stuff out. So very well done. All right. And we also have the Cali Belgique. This is from Stone. And for most of you are familiar with the Cali Belgique, this version was aged in red wine barrels, which is going to bring a whole new layer of flavors to it. Julia, what do you think?
Well, I mean, you've got 2 IPAs, very different approaches, a Belgian IPA that's barrel-aged and then straight to an American-style IPA. So I haven't tried it with the food yet, but this is pretty yeast-driven beer, and yet you've got some malt sweetness. It's not quite as dry and finished than the Pliny, and it's still going to, I think, find some of the, maybe even more of the aioli sauce with a little bit of that funkiness for the yeast, so I'll give it a try.
Yeah, let's dive in and see what we think here.
I watch the Food Network, and it's always hard to watch people eat. But yet we're all busy doing it all the time because I love the Food Network and these food shows. And what we're doing right now is just so communal and so great. And I love that you're allowing us to have 2 beers, 2 different experiences with each food course.
And I think that's important for people to realize that within the core of, and we're going to talk about food pairing in the box, but it's important for people to realize that most dishes have more than one good beer pairing. And with this one, you guys have now tried the Cali Belgique. What'd you think?
I think it almost works better. Do you like it better? I don't know.
The food changes the beer more.
Absolutely. Yeah, it feels, I think the dryness of the Cali Belgique just brings out more of the herbaceousness of the salsa verde. And I think even like the bread kind of comes into it a little bit more as well. Sings a little bit more, whereas Pliny was matching it, and I just feel like this is actually melding.
I was going to say, you can actually get that red wine flavor out of the beer that really lines up with the pork. Those two really complement each other very nicely.
There is red wine vinegar in the salsa verde, so
that'll help. All right. Well, we are about to switch over now. We're going to clear these plates, and we're going to move on to the mussels. So let's set that up, and we'll be right back with that.